Welcome to Fangirl Diaries. This is your fangirl host with the most, Dani, and let's get into today's entry.
Hey guys, it's your girl Dani here with another fun episode of the podcast coming right to you, alone in my bedroom. This is going to be one of those episodes where when recorded, it's just me, myself, the dog, and that's it because Lilia is not in the room with us today, which is a sad one because we're going to be doing a show that I somewhat enjoyed, but I think I'm more like sad because I'm so used to whenever we talk about this couple. Lilia's in the room where it happens. So, but she's here with us with spirit, knowing me. I'm going to be calling out to her. Lilia, we really need to make like a yeah button for you. And what was it? Remember on iCarly when Sam had that remote where she would click a button and it would make noises? But instead, like we have that, but it's just you like saying like basic phrases. But so this episode's going to be an interesting one because I'm going to get to speak on like my trip from Thailand because it does feature a very special event that I got to go to. So we get to do that. So I guess I'll just jump into it and say that we are finally going to talk about A Dog in a Plane. I say finally, but the show ended, I want to say like a week and a half ago at the time of recording this, and maybe 2 weeks before we aired this. Felt like it went by really quick. Like it started in like late May and it like ended late January. I actually can look up the date because Lord knows that period. Yeah, July 31st and it started May 29th. So that's like 2 months of just episodes. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. Like I said earlier, I got to go to the first episode screening for this series, which was really interesting. It was a lot of fun. Just getting to experience that. So it's something I'm going to talk about at the end. I think I've done it in our mini entry episode when we talked about my Thailand time. So that's something fun. I'm going to go through and see if I can... I'll probably see if we can like slip in like snippets of videos that I took from the screening. Obviously, it's all in Thai if I do end up, so I don't have like any translations of like questions and stuff, but maybe we'll just put it there just for fun. Only because I don't know if I can put any of the performances of any of the songs, but I digress. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, synopsis time. After flight attendant Kanit clashes with 3 EMTs and his bag accidentally exchanges with EMT Toto's, the chaotic trio borrows expensive belongings for a night out, and they get ruined. When the truth comes out and Toto can't afford to pay Kant back, he agrees to a trade of labor. Can't task him with uncovering his boyfriend's cheating. When he does, however, Toto is bribed by Kant's pilot boyfriend to keep things quiet. As the two spend more time and their closeness grows, Toto may begin to regret his lie. So off the bat, that synopsis I feel like is a synopsis for the pilot, not so much the series, because that whole little he gets bribed by his pilot boyfriend. He doesn't, first off, like just to jump the gun towards like later. He discovers that he was cheating. But the most he does is like, I'm giving you a week to tell him yourself and to like break things off with the other flight attendant that you're sleeping with. Like that's it. It's not like he takes money or anything. Like that's just so weird. So this show I was excited to see the show. One, because I was excited to watch a TayNew series kind of on its premiere, because I think the one I watched before that was, I want to say, well, I've seen Cherry Magic, obviously, because we did an episode on it for my birthday. So the last like BL they did together where they were the leads was Cherry Magic. So this is their first lead BL role in like 2 years. Obviously, they were supposed to be in Replay. That was supposed to come out after this, and obviously that's been scrapped due to reasons. And then I think the next time we're going to see them together is going to be in Good Boy, which is the Luke Mick series. McLuke, I don't know which is which. because they play the older versions of Luke and Mick's characters, which I think is a great touch. But yeah, so this was like when I was like, oh, this is great. I finally get to see them in a series together. And it was extra fun because I was in Thailand when it dropped. Which, by the way, again, I'm like jumping on so many tangents here. But while I was in Thailand, every morning I would wake up and there would be a series that would play on the TV. And New was in it. I have no idea what the series is called. I had the name of the series like a while ago while I was there. And now I wish I could tell you guys what it is. But it was like some like soap opera series. If I remember what it is, maybe I'll put it in the description and like I'll tag this timestamp so that way you guys can like check it out. But I just remember waking up and being like turning on the TV and like there he was. He was like playing, I think he was like, I don't want to say like a lead role, but like a like somewhat lead role. I wonder, it's not this. I'm getting too much into like trying to look for this, but it's like it's soap opera. Is it Room Alone season 2? No, that's not it. But anyway, so yeah, this is like their most recent BL series. I had very indifferent thoughts when the pilot came out. I'm not one for like a cheating subplot. It's why I don't watch K-dramas, is because I feel like every single K-drama has some sort of cheating, and then it's like getting revenge on the cheating, and it's like boring. I mean, it's like, why do we keep doing this? Is cheating really the only like terrible plot that we can do? So yeah, so basically the real plot of the series is what it said. It's about a flight attendant and an EMT. They do clash because of a road drama thing. So they clash, and it's very clear that Kanit and Toto have like a very flirty energy from off the bat. Like even in that first like moment when they meet and the like tension between them, I was like, y'all should kiss. I scream it out loud at the screening, but that's like my thought, because I was like, y'all might as well just make out and like get the tension over with. And even Toto says it when Kanit leaves, he's like, because he's just my type. So it's just kind of funny how that's kind of like the relationship the entire series. And I just found it funny how like it was very obvious that Lion can't I feel like calling him Can't, I don't know why. His boyfriend was cheating on him like off the beginning, because he was like terrible boyfriend. I think they were together since like 3 years, and I'm just like, what kind of low self-esteem do you have that like it's like Kent seems like the type of character that like he's got everything going for him. You know, he seems very confident in himself. He's got a good paying job, a nice apartment, all this stuff. And it just seems like when it comes to relationships, that's where he's the most insecure in. And I feel like a lot of that's because of his parents, because we see that his dad is basically like, your siblings are in relationships and all of this. And, you know, I don't believe you when you say that you're in one because you never bring him home. And it's like, whoa, Dad, he keeps trying to bring him home, but homeboy keeps bailing on him. So like the plot is basically everything up until Toto being bribed, because he's not bribed. He's basically just like, Lion's a good manipulator. That's kind of like the whole thing. And I think another reason why Ken is like just doesn't want to believe he's cheating, because he, you know, says to Toto, like, you know how much he loves me. Just let me do it himself. Like, let me tell him. And it's like, this is supposed to be a comedy series, and I was just more frustrated the entire, like, freaking episode, like, series. It's like, I really wanted to enjoy this so much more than I did, but I still enjoyed it, if that makes any sense. Like I said earlier, I was not for the cheating subplot in the pilot. And when the pilot described that like Toto took the bribe, I kind of was peeved off, because I was like, why am I supposed to root for these two to get together if it's very clear that Toto is willing to like take money and be bribed into keeping quiet about his boyfriend cheating on him? Like, I wouldn't want my lead character, you know, who I'm rooting for, to end up with someone like that. This is gonna be one of those episodes where I go all over the place, because this is like my one frustration. with, you know, like, okay, so I'll go off right at the back. I hate, when I say earlier that I hate cheating plots, it's like, this is the reason why I couldn't really enjoy Only Friends, in the sense that I, to this day, hate that Top Mew stay together. Is that what Force Book's character's called? I don't even fucking know. Like, literally to the point where, like, that's what frustrates me the most about Only Friends. It's like the whole point of that show is that they're all toxic, but I just didn't understand why by the end of it they were all, except for Ray, because Ray has a fucking conscience, I guess, and probably Boston in this case, were rooting for Mew and Top to get back together, even though Top fucking cheated on him. And like everyone and his, like, even Mew's mothers was like, you should give him another chance. Like, fuck that. I hated that plot. I hated it. And in this one, you know, the plot is like there's nothing like that. Like, there really isn't people rooting for Kent to get back together with Lion. It's just more or less, it was frustrating to see Toto allow Lion to convince him to not say anything, but I understand that, you know, he doesn't want to hurt him in that way, although he ended up getting hurt anyway. My whole frustration with that plot line, including the cheating, was that, you know, we had his friend, what was her name? What is it? Pailin, who, funny enough, I didn't realize this until I was like halfway through the series. I was like, where have I seen Homegirl before? Like, she's the girl from Fish Upon a Sky that I hated. I think it's her. It's his teacher in the guest role, but I'm pretty sure she's like the girl, like, who's the friend. It's like peeved me off. Like, it has to be her. It looks like her. But like, if we do a whole scene where it's her birthday, this is around the time where like Toto and Kanit were like trying to like be together. We'll get to that plot in a second, because I was a little frustrated with that too. And they step away for a second, come back, and Lion's at the party giving his friend a gift, even though at this point he already told Lion to like back the fuck off, and no one else said anything. To the point where like Toto left and I got pissed off, because I'm like, you already fought with him like 2 scenes beforehand. Why aren't you like going back for bat and like claiming your man? Like, because it looks like he's proposing, you think that he was gonna say fucking yes after everything you guys saw him like go through? And it peeved me off that his like, here's his girlfriend, the girl that like is always behind his back, just letting Lion be there and give her a gift. Like, she got excited for a purse to the point where he had to tell her, give it back, I'll buy it for you. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is this? It's just like, so I don't know. And this seems to be the other thing. I don't know what the culture is like in terms of dating and cheating and all that. Because like when you look at Japan, the big thing is like, well, you know, cheating's like normalized. Like, they talk about a lot in Japan how, you know, I think it's like, I don't remember what it is that they say, but something along the lines of, it's just normalized that guys, like a lot of people, not just guys, but like a lot of people cheat in relationships, that it doesn't count or something. I don't know. And I you know, in Korea, I believe it's more looked down upon, want to say frowned upon, although like a lot of Korean BLs I've seen, there are certain times where like, there was one I watched where, well, I didn't watch, I saw clips where like either the main character dies or it's like they're told or something like that, and it's like, it's fine because there's a baby on the way or whatever. It's like, this is fucking annoying that it's every series. So I just didn't like that happened. And then what sucks is that for some reason GMM keeps doing this, because like I said, Only Friends like dream on, we find out that Top and Mew stay together, which peeved me off. Like, I would have preferred that Mew had ended up with Mix's character that showed up at the end, even that wasn't like Dean, but like whoever Mix was supposed to be in that one scene. That would have been a better like season 2 information type of thing, because it would have made more sense and it would have justified a lot. Because it pissed me off that Eris's character went to Tommy for advice. They have the worst relationship. It is funny that I'm going into my Only Friends tangent, but this is what peeved me about the cheating plotline. And then they're doing it again, because at the time of recording this, episode 1 of I think it's called Unlucky. Is it called Unlucky Babe? This is like this just recently came out. It's, if you're here in the States, it's on Netflix, and I saw the plot To be fair, I didn't even read the plot. I saw a couple of scenes from the first episode. I think I did watch the trailer. And it did involve a cheating scandal, but from my understanding, I was like, okay, homeboy's getting revenge. I was kind of hoping, like, not to get too much in the plot, but there's like a mistake because he makes a mistake because he apparently has magical powers, blah blah blah. But when I watched that first fucking episode and saw how they were treating this whole cheating scandal that his ex kind of puts off, I was like, this is how we're doing this. This makes no sense. It just is really stupid, and I feel bad for the main character, but in a way that like it's not going to go in a way that I think it should, and it pees me off, and I feel like I could have written this plot a bit better. So I just don't understand what GMM is doing with cheating. It feels like in some cases they're trying to justify it and be like, well, if you could just chalk it out, which is like the only Friends thing. And I don't understand why we're having so many like moments where no one does anything or says anything. Because I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my Hispanic ass that would have been like, you stupid, get the, like, I wouldn't. But also like on the side point, and this peeved me off. So Modern's in this, if you watched our episode a couple weeks ago of that summer, you would know that I adored them in that series as the side couple. They're the side couple in this series. I'm rooting for them to get a leading series together because I think their chemistry is great. I think they look great together. I want them to have a cute mascot. Like I want them to be like the front row couple. I don't want any more of this like they'll do a show here and there together. I don't know when's the next time the two of them are going to be in a series together where it's a BL. It looks like Rue. I keep saying Ray. I don't know why. I'm sorry, guys. It's going to be a Pneumatic, which is coming out soon. And then Mon's next series is The Spooky Love Tale, which Mark and Om is going to be in, which funny enough, Om was also... Oh, wait. They're the side couple. Why is it not on Rue's account? Oh, it is. So they're going to be the side couple in The Spooky Love Tale, which is now the new Mark Ohm series. This was supposed to originally be the next Perf Santa series, and now Mark and Ohm are doing it, which maybe will fit them better. But I want them to have a lead series, and so I was really excited for them to be in this. But then what sucks is that I got interested into them as a couple, I think around the time, like right before this series came out, right? But the pilot trailer, whatever, had already been out. It didn't click for me that it was them because I'd seen it once, like I think when it first dropped, I didn't think too much of it. I hated that Rue's character is the homewrecker, and I hate that there's no real like, I don't want to say repercussions, but there really isn't. Like, he knows who Kent is the first time they meet each other in the luggage store. Like, there's this weird tension where, first of all, I thought Kent knew who he was. I thought this was like they knew each other when they first meet. That was the one confusing thing about the scene, was that when Kent and Palin, I'm saying that wrong, go into that luggage store to go buy the inevitable red luggage that ends up getting swapped. I thought when Veha, bear with me, guys. When he like was looking at the red suitcase and then Kent saw him grab it and like was like, actually, I was going to buy that, so can I have that because it's the last one? The weird tension between the two of them, I thought they knew each other. I thought this was some like weird, like, you're from that airline, so we're rivals with you, which would have been weird because it's this. He works for the same airline that Lion works for. So that wasn't the case, as it turns out. It was that he approached Kent that first time because he knew who he was. It's just that Kent didn't know who he was. And it is the typical, like, homewrecker, like, I know I'm the side piece, but he keeps telling me he's going to leave him for me. And it's like, no, bitch, he ain't. It's been a year. He's telling you that he wants to stay with you. And he has bad self-esteem. We find out later that his and Mon's character, Akit, both knew each other in school. It was like this whole, like, he had a crush on him, but because he was like the ugly duckling and he was the like hot high school football jock, they didn't really clash. And then, they leave off. He gets to like a makeover. He literally says that it's his fault. He's like, because apparently, so this is like an incident. They do a flashback and he's this little fanboy. It's cute. He's got a crush. He gives him a bracelet. And then Akis friends make fun of him. He's like, oh, you got a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. Like, kid's teasing. And then he goes, runs off, and he drops the bracelet. And then because of that moment, I really need to work on my Thai pronunciations. Gets distraught. He decides that he's going to, in that moment, make himself over. And then when he does, he gets this like boost of confidence, but it's only enough to make himself a side piece. And I'm like, guys, you were in high school. Like, you're supposed to be like 23 or something in this scene. What do you mean in a couple of years it took you to get this makeover? And I don't know. But it's like he has such low self-esteem himself. Like, can't. And this is what line like cheaters strive for. He's also someone with low self-esteem. But then at the same time, he keeps taunting him without real the second time they meet is at their mutual friend's bachelorette party. And they make a comment. Connect makes a comment about, I think, like, you know, keeping what he wants, his property, and then he makes a comment about like, well, I can take what you want, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I don't want to root for him to get with Aki in this point, because mind you, in the like first, and that's what frustrates me about these like cheating subplots. How am I supposed to root for the home wrecker or the partner that, you know, wrecks his home to end up with the other person? And what makes it worse is that Aki's whole plot is that he just got dumped by his girlfriend, his long distance girlfriend, and he has this whole self-esteem thing because of an accident. He is no longer, you know, his once promising career in football is over, and he is trying to kind of find his footing in life as one does as an adult. And he gets dumped, and she like is very clearly cheating on him because she says like he hears like a male's voice, and she's like, it's my gay friend. And he makes this stupid comment of like, I have gay friends, I know what they sound like. It's like, okay, because he's bi. I was like, are you talking about just Toto? What's going on here? I just thought that was just so weird, like delivery of a line. But it's like he's gonna end up with Vivia because, like, yeah, of course, because they're old buddies, they bump into each other. But he has this whole plot when they discover he's the like the side piece where Aki goes like to his car and writes homewrecker on it. He is constantly taunting him about stop being a homewrecker, leave Lion alone. You know what you're doing is wrong, and he steps back and is like, no, which is like insane to me that I'm supposed to root for these two to get together. And it took, because like I said earlier, in that summer, I love those two together. Their whole plot point of like, well, you know, they're living in this beach town and he already has had some issues with being out of the closet, that he's not sure about being out of the closet this time around. That was a better plot point than this, because it made sense as to why he was so reluctant about their relationship. This one, I'm just like, he got dumped by a homewrecker. He's been cheated on. What the fuck do you mean he's going to end up with someone who wrecked his, you know, his friend's future partner, you know, home? It's like insane to me. And then like there's a whole plot of them like basically exposing Lion at a restaurant while he's on a date with Vienna, which is like, I want to point out, the shitty thing about Lion is that first off, he's a cheater, but he keeps veiling on Ken. And like every turn, it's like, well, I can't make it to meet your family because of this. On their anniversary, he bails on him to go sleep with Vienna. And I'm like, dude, at this point, you know, I almost kind of believed, you know, him when he told Vienna that he was going to leave him. Because, like, at this point, it's like, dude, you're publicly going to the gym with this dude. You're holding his hand while in the airport. You're skipping your anniversary to cheat. Like, at this point, when have you seen, you know, Ken? Like, you have barely seen him. No wonder he's, like, close to cheating on you himself with Toto. Like, he refrains himself, but it's really clear that there's chemistry there. So... But yeah, that's like my whole thing about the cheating football. I just was not having it. I just don't like, and when he gets exposed and he gets dumped by both of them, that's when Vienna's finding this like, he's like, well, you said you were going to leave him and all of that just happened. You very clearly weren't, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, no shit, bitch. You basically like are no longer going to be with him, not even though he's single now, like you wanted, because he got humiliated in public. That's how I took that. Because I was like, isn't this what you wanted? Like him to like leave him? You were always going to be seen as a cheater if he broke up with him and then got together with you right away. Like, make it make sense. Like, please make it make sense. And then he starts dating they start like hanging out, and then at some point they bump into Toto and Kent, and it's like Kent really wants to give it to him in the bumper cars, but doesn't, because he's like, he kind of feels like he's forgiven him, and I'm like, dude, he didn't even apologize at this point. It was so fucking frustrating. You haven't apologized. I would feel more reluctant to forgive him had you actually, if they had a sit down conversation, like the scene that we see later on, where because there's this whole plot of Ken and Toto not really sure if they can maintain this relationship because they're struggling, because Toto's job is a 24-hour job, you know, as a EMT, and Kent, you know, has his weird schedule as a pilot that Kent decides to like break it off for some dumb reason. Well, no, that's the reason why I thought it was dumb. And then applies to an airline. It's overseas. I just realized we don't really get much of an ending to that because he proposes to him on the flight. Oh, okay, I tried to say it. I would have liked a scene of the two of them, maybe not directly after the restaurant, but maybe at the carnival that they go to, or like at some point where they sat down and actually talked it out. That's something that was needed, because you can't just forgive him. Homeboy ends up at his wedding because obviously he's now within the friend group for dating the other friend. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Also, Tui from Lycan is in the show, and I love that he's in it, but it's kind of funny to me that he's a supporting role. And I think he was at the final episode screening. I have to double check. I was bitter the fact that like the photo op for that one was like both couples, and I only I love that. Again, we'll talk about all that in a second. I feel like he was barely in the series. He was there for like the first 2 episodes and he disappeared, and all I could think was, is this because of Lycan's schedule? Because Lycan's schedule is like fucking packed as fuck. I don't know how William is able to record a whole series. I would have crashed out by this point. But he's barely in for the first couple episodes, and then he sprinkles in here and there. And then they have another character who I don't know how this happened. Well, this happened because there were some like times where I was watching the series and I was like not like losing it, but like I feel like I was passing out here and there. Who's called Jo. And he's in like a couple episodes. He's in an episode, it says here 3 to 4, 8 to 10. And I feel like the first time I saw him, I thought it was Chewie, and like or Beer as his character is called. And it didn't register for like a second because I was like, wait a minute, that's not. I was like, where the fuck? It's literally the scene where they go to the gym. I thought that was Chewie for a second. I had to rewind and be like, shouldn't that be Beer? Like, what are we doing here? By the way, this series was 10 episodes long. I'm not opposed to 10 episode series. I feel like this one could have been 8, because I feel like we dragged the cheating plot point got resolved rather quickly, and then it was just like a bunch of episodes of Toto trying to flirt and get with Kent, and it was like very clearly like I've been through some breakups, and I've never been in a breakup where someone's cheated on me. And I truly think, considering how Kent took the breakup, because he was heartbroken beyond, like, he was kind of bed rotting, I think Toto should have taken a step back and allowed him to mourn the relationship. And I say this as someone who felt that he didn't really like Lion in that way. My thought when it came to Lion and his relationship, it was more or less he liked that Lion fit in with the perfect image that specifically his dad wanted for him, because Lion's a pilot, so he makes good money. They're both in the same industry, and it looks better to like other people that he's dating a pilot as opposed to like dating an EMT, which I think is kind of dumb because EMTs save people, but who do I know? So I just felt like there were many points where like they were a relationship for 3 years, but it just didn't seem like he really was in love with him. I think he was more hurt that he was cheated on as anyone would be. And that, there were too many signs that the relationship was over before it was over and it was going to hurt. And I think, he's mourning a relationship that he thought he had. He was mourning the image that he now no longer has, and the fact that his father is going to be disappointed when he tells him. And I think Toto should have just given him time to like really, like, I think it was good that he got him out of bed, but I think it would have been better had it not as flirted as much for me, and like given it a chance to like really mourn the relationship instead of just being like, I'm gonna be your new boyfriend. And then, but also in turn, I think it was kind of fucked up when Kent was like, because Lion showed up and Lion was like, you proved your point. I bet you cheated on me with him. We're even. I was like, first off, he didn't cheat on you. If at this point, if he did stay with Kent, it's not cheating. But then he takes him up, not with Kent, with Toto. He takes Toto upstairs and he basically tells Toto like that he wants someone to be there with him, like sleep with him. And I was kind of hoping Toto would have said no. And I was really like kind of peeved when Toto gave in, because he then treated it as like a one night stand. It very much was like, nope, I don't want this like that. It was just, it just scratched. You're no longer in debt to me. We can like stop talking. I think literally what he did, it was kind of fucked up. And it's like, they both were in the wrong. Toto shouldn't have slept with him. Toto should have given him some space, and Kent shouldn't have done that. On the flip side, not to go once again into a fucking rant about the cheating thing, I will say Aki is a really sweet character, because the fact that he said that like he basically kind of almost this year he didn't want to be here on this world anymore. He went to check on him, stood outside his hotel room, apartment, whatever it was, for days waiting for him to come out, and then basically cheered him up. I thought was great. I felt like their relationship didn't go back and forth so much, but like kind of did a little too much, because okay, he feels, there's been a plot of him feeling like not as successful as his like former classmates, because again, he was supposed to be this big sports star, and then he got injured and it ended his career. And he isn't in the, like, I related to him in the sense of like, I too just don't feel like I'm in the right place that I'm supposed to be as an adult. And there are times where he pushes away from Vienna, like, there's just many times where they kind of like push back on each other. And I feel like we could have just not had drawn that out. And I just felt like he was such a good person and dealt with so much crap that I'm like, I don't know. I just didn't like that he went from one cheater to another. I feel like a better plot that would have made their coupling a lot more forgiving in this series would have been that Vienna didn't know that Kent was Lion's boyfriend. Because it can happen. People have been cheated on or like unknowingly been the side piece for a long time, and it's just so happens that they have like a flight attendant rivalry for whatever reason. I think that would have made that storyline a little bit better than just him being like the side piece and almost proud of it. It was frustrating. So I don't know. I don't know. Me and Thee is a series. It's like a canon series, because they talked about at some point reading Me and Thee fanfic, and I was like, I just love that Me and Thee has become like this thing within GMM. But yeah, there was a lot going on in this series, and I will say my my favorite scene is in the first episode where they're like not completely, but they like strip down of Kent's clothes. I think I wrote in my note, I'll read this here. Where did I read it here? So I wrote in my notes, I agree, they should take off more to show they're not scammers, for science. Because I stripped them down and like you see, they all got nice bodies. 10 out of 10, all three. I was here for it. And then like a couple of scenes later, they're strippers at the fucking bachelorette party. Talk about like red string theory for these characters, because like they were just fated every other turn. They were bumping into each other. I guess the only other thing I have to talk about is the fact that I didn't forget this, but I don't think I've seen a BL yet, other than this one, that actually features the Thai military draft. So for those who don't know, Thailand also has a military, and I think it's every year. There's like two ways that it kind of works. It's either there is a draft, and the only time that it doesn't happen is if maybe they get volunteers. So you could either volunteer when it's your time, and if they get enough volunteers, everyone else from that age group. I'm assuming there's like a minimum age you have to be to like before you can stop avoiding. So if enough volunteers come in, the rest of the like group of men don't have to like get drafted. And because that happened to like Batman from GOT7. So the year that he was supposed to enlist, that he went to the drawing, the reason it didn't happen is that enough men volunteered that he didn't have to. So when you do it, it becomes, I will say, it trends every year on TikTok. It trends a lot on social media. One, because of how the system works, where if you have to pull a card out of like a jar. Red means you're enlisting, black means you're safe. And it trends every year because of two things. Well, I said three things. One, how it's done. And then the other is because obviously, unlike I want to say other countries in Asia, this is probably one of the more LGBT. I don't want to say, I stress to not, I guess I could say LGBT accepted country, but it's, there's still some issues here and there from what I've seen, and a lot more that I'd like to research. But more or less, it's either because a lot of recently transitioned women who on their birth certificate still say male get called in, have to then go and like prove that like, hey, we've transitioned. We're no longer men. So you see a lot of these like beautiful women show up, and everyone's like shocked, and it's like, okay. And then the other is because a lot of times the videos of people pulling out the cards trend because people fainting when they get the red notice, because it is shocking. Like the soldiers have to hold them because more or less the men will faint. And then usually we see a lot of more like flamboyant, flamboyant is not the word, like more feminine gay males come in and do it, and they're very like, here we go, this is us, which is what gets a lot of this whole like, oh, Thailand is the gay center of the world. Like, yeah, I get it. I will say though, people tend to do that. I do see a lot of comments from people who live in Thailand who are Thai, who are part of the LGBT community, state that like, while it's all funny and fun and games seeing these videos, to realize that actually a lot of gay men who are forced to enlist a lot of times are treated horribly, like really horribly. I've read a few comments about that, so let's just like keep that in mind for things. Like, just because Thailand is more accepting than most other Asian countries doesn't mean there still aren't issues. I mean, I don't know if it's more like on the US side where like, yeah, we do have similar laws, like obviously marriage equality and all that, but that's only recent. But I don't want to get too deep in that, but I just thought it was like kind of interesting for us to say that, and Aki is the one who does it. And it is one of those things where it's sad because we already had him feel like, this is a point where he like at this point is already getting on with his life, and he's got a new job as a teacher. He's got a boyfriend who loves him, and his life is getting on track. And now suddenly he has to give up 2 years, to the point where he almost breaks up with Vienna, because he says like, if you meet someone new while I'm gone, please like go with them. Someone's better. And he's like, no. To the point where he's like willing to enlist himself, because he's like they're like 2 years apart. So that was like a whole thing. I just thought that was really interesting. I haven't seen many other shows that kind of like bring it up. Mainly because I've only watched, I can literally tell you the number of BLs that I've watched because I've written them down. I've watched exactly 66 different BLs. That's like 66 that I've completed. So it's ongoing. But I think that's kind of where I'm going to end it. Because there's a lot of other plot points that I've spoken about. It's a great show. I just am a little salty when it comes to like the cheating plot line. It was like kind of frustrating the way that the relationships were structured. Like I said, I don't think Kent was that really into Lion in the way that I think he, like, in the sense that I think that we assumed he was. I just hate that we were rooting for the side piece who clearly didn't care that he was a side piece and was actively hurting someone, get together with someone else. I feel like a lot of that could have been changed for the better. I feel like Toto could have toned down his whole like pursue for a little bit, just because it got to be like, I don't know, too much. And it clearly was like, I'm not saying made Kat uncomfortable, but it's also like he just got out of this really intense relationship where someone he loved, you know, he thought he could trust and no longer can't. So that's where I'm going to end that. I am going to give my rating here and then talk about the screening, because the screening is only going to be like a couple minute talk, and then I'll do my song of the week. So in terms of rating, I am giving this a 7 out of 10. It did have a few issues, but I just still really enjoyed it. I love TayNew, I love Monray, and I really hope that GMM gives us another series with TayNew, because our old one, now that Reset has been canceled. And you know what? I was like thinking about this, and I really hope no one gets mad at me for this, because I do think it's kind of funny. So I was thinking a lot about like how Mon and Ru deserve a series. They really do. They deserve a lead series together. I know they're gonna be, like I said, in the spooky love tale, but they're side characters. I think they should be given My Professional Boyfriend, which is the series that Winnie and Satong were supposed to do before they ended. And I say that because it is a series that GMM still has the rights for. It's not like we haven't seen couples replace other couples, i.e. Spooky Love Tale, because, you know, that was per Santa. I think this plot would be great for them. From what I saw in the trailer, I think they would do this series really well. Ohm was supposed to be in it. I love that Ohm is just everywhere. Oh, and so it's the girl who played PI. So again, it's like this is like definitely something that they could have done. I think unless they're giving it to Satong and his rumored new pairing that everyone keeps thinking about, I think this would be a great series to give to those two. Because it's already there, the script's there, production's already kind of like on the ready, and they deserve a series. So that's just my 2 cents. So, but yeah, 7 out of 10. Keep going on rants. So I got to go to the Love at First Flight screening. I paid for the top tier ticket, which included a 4 photo op. So that was the TayNew, you know, together, and then me and 3 other girls. It was at the Iconocemus mall. They do a lot of events there. Most events for screenings and stuff most of the time will be there. It was a decently sized venue. So I bought my ticket 2 days before. I went early in the morning because I didn't know what to expect in terms of merch. They had released a photo card set, which I'd bought. I originally was only going to buy like a pack, and then I got convinced by everyone else to buy like a bunch to get the bonus card, like because it was like, I think it was like 6 cards, and like the 6th one or the 5th one was like a different card every pack. And I'm really mad I didn't buy more because I didn't get like the one that everyone wanted, but I got like 4 out of 5, so that's fine. And so it was like that. And then I think the book was the only other thing they had originally announced, which I get because it's the first episode and we don't know what merch is. I did become salty when the final screening came out and they had like the headrest thing that Toto uses, the shirt and everything. And I'm wondering if I can buy it off like some website that sells BL here, because I would have loved to have a t-shirt. But I think the day or so before the screening happened, they announced more merch. And of course, as we know, TayNew's mascot is Polca. So they had a lot of Polca merch. I was able to get 2 of the Polca keychains. I ended up getting the secret, which features Polca's toilet. During my trip to Thailand, I was basically harassed at GMM shop every time I went there for the elephant pants, because I really wanted a pair of elephant pants. At that point, I didn't care what character it was. I just wanted a pair. And luckily, they sold the Polca ones there. I got a Polca bag, the folder file, which is really cute. And then I got a different TayNew keychain that goes like them in the middle, and then it's like shaped like Pokemon, and then another pack of like TayNew photo cards. I think that was like everything that I bought. I met a bunch of lovely people, some like fellow BL like social media people, I guess influencers. So that was great. I met a lot of fellow TayNew Pokemon fans. I actually ended up getting some freebie stickers from people, which was so cool. I loved it. They're in my booklet. The screening itself was a lot of fun. The boys came out beforehand. Now, obviously, they're speaking all in Thai. They did have subtitles on the screen in English, which I thought was really great. But obviously, because I don't know how the subtitles are managed. I'm assuming it's someone typing it and translating it. There was a slight delay, so I was kind of a little delayed on what they were saying, but I just would laugh at the audience because I didn't care because I was just excited to be there. So Mon, Ru, Tay, and New were all there for the opening. I believe they stayed to watch it. Then it was just Tay and New for the photos. I wish it had been both couples, but it is what it is. And we got to watch the show, the first episode. It was great. We had English subtitles, so I actually got to follow along. It was great being in a room where like anything would happen, like the reactions, like I've only seen clips of it from other series, so it was fun being a part of that. I was a little salty when they all cheered for like that one like scene where Lion and Kent were like flirting in the beginning. I guess it's because they find the guy who plays Lion hot, which is like fair. But I also was like, we know he's a cheater. Why are we cheering? But whatever. But I think towards the end, like when Toto and Kent were flirting, when he calls him Mr. Tofu Face, I think is what he says. And then afterwards he tells Mon's character and Two's character. I think I was like Mon and Beer because I can't remember characters at this point. That he was his type. Everyone's like screamed, and I also screamed. It was just fun doing that. So within the package we got, like I said, I got my ticket. We got a signed poster. So I have that to add to my ever-growing poster. I will say this year I have gotten, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think like 5 signed posters by BL actors. And then at the time of recording this, I have 2 more that I need to get. So that's going to be fun. But it was sweet. And then I met this lovely girl named Sophie. We got to chatting while we were there. Anytime we saw each other, she was very nice. Hey girl, hey, if you're listening to this, how you doing? When I went up for my photo with TayNew, she ended up filming me. I didn't even know she was going to do that. So again, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I was obviously a little nervous to see how I was going to look in the photo. So I'm glad I got to see that right after, and I looked great. So yeah, we'll kind of insert that here. But she took a video of me getting the photo with them. And I actually, in the this is really quick photo. I will say, I don't want to go too in depth with how crazy, actually I will a second, but just to finish my story of my photo, we got up. If I had one more person in front of me, I would have been part of the next group, and I might have been able to sit next to TayNew. So sadly, I didn't get to sit next to them, which sucks. But I've been getting lucky lately in terms of sitting next to actors. But in that moment, I didn't, which whatever. I did get to. New was kind of tired by that point. I could just tell he was out of it. He was exhausted, which I would be too. But I got to very quickly tell Tay that I was there for my 30th. Well, I was there for my 30th, but I got to tell them that I was there for my birthday, and I was celebrating it with them because it was the week after my birthday. But that was the whole reason for my trip, was to celebrate my birthday. And he wished me a happy birthday, which was really nice. I had done Pokemon themed nails at the Cantamia salon. I think that's how you pronounce it, which if you've seen Gel Boys, it's the salon from Gel Boys. And the lovely nail artist there made me Pokemon themed nails. She put Pokemon on 2 of my nails, one in 3D form and one hand painted. I actually kept the nail and when she's hand painted, because the 3D one, unfortunately, when removing it, got destroyed. And then I had asked, because it was my 30th, I wanted a cherry. They didn't seem to understand why, and for me it was because I called my 30th my cherry magic birthday, even though it's not exactly like his character in Cherry Magic, but I digress. It's still my 30th, and I thought that was a fun little hint there. They came out beautifully. You can actually find them on our socials if you want to look for it, because I did post photos from the salon and everything. But yeah, so I got my nails done. It was like really fun. It was a very Polca TayNew themed day. I was really happy to get everything. I actually ended up going to the what is it, the barbecue place that Polca and like Toma Fox sponsor. Like they're the Heads Up. What's it called? Okay, so I looked it up. It took me a hot second. I got to go to Polca, which I've eaten here before, but I think it was more fun for me to go there with all of my Polca stuff, since he's like, him and Toma Fox have been making ads for them. I wish they had like something Polca themed to give me. I don't know. Like if they had like a Polca meal or something, that would have been a lot of fun. Because he's still making ads for them. I was hoping to see like something, but I digress. But it was still great, and the mall is beautiful. I did a bunch of shopping. It's the mall where if you look it up, they have like a river. They have like an entire section that's like very much for tourists, because it's like very classic Thai village. Like it's to attract tourists. They got a little river. You're mostly gonna buy your niche like souvenirs. Like I bought these little stuffed elephants. I made magnets, those little dish magnets. I made one for my mom. I bought a soap shaped like an elephant for my grandmother there. They were selling elephant pants. So it's like that mall. Very beautiful mall. I like understand why people love to visit it. But yeah, and that's kind of like the gist of it. I went back later on in the day. I went back to my hotel for like maybe 10 minutes, went back to the venue. Like I said, the screening was great. It was a lot of fun. They sang, I believe they sang the theme. Okay, because it's been a while since I believe they sang the theme. They sang No More. And if you know that song by them, you've probably heard Polca's version where when they sing it and he goes, Bami, Bami. I love the video of like Puin when everyone does it and he's like, huh? But they sing that one. I do have a taping of that. I probably will drop that clip on our socials once we release this episode. But yeah, so it was just a lot of fun. It was a great experience. I'm so happy I got to do that. It made me want to go to another one. I wish I didn't get to, like the very next day was a Ticket to Heaven screening, and that one sold out really quick. I didn't even get a chance. But I don't know if I would have. I have nothing against Ticket to Heaven. I just, as a Catholic, I'm like, do I really want to watch a whole series about Catholic guilt? Probably. I just didn't want to do it while there, and I had other things I wanted to do. So I didn't get to go to that one. I will say it was really funny because they sold merch, had standees up of TayNew, which I took photos with and everything. And then as soon as the screening was done, they were already prepping for Ticket to Heaven. They were like on the clock 24, like ready to go. But it was great. I had a lot of fun. And I hope I get to go to another screening. I'm hoping maybe next year if I go to Thailand again, I would love to go to one for Domundi. But yeah. So now for our song of the week. This one was a little tricky for me because I contemplated doing like an plane themed one, but I thought that would be stupid. The song of the week is Olivia Rodrigo's Good For You. I feel like that consists of, how Kent felt about the breakup, the whole situation, and the silliness of it. I think it just vibes in a pop well. Like, I think it works. Even if it's just like mostly works on that one scene scenario, those one few scene scenarios, I just think the tone, like the melody and everything works for the entire series. I think it's a good vibe song. So yeah, so Good For You. We haven't done an Olivia Rodrigo song yet. So it's great. So that's going to be the end of this episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know I did. And look out for next week's episode. We are going to be discussing Fort and Pete's yesterday. Because funny enough, at the time of recording this, yesterday, I went to the Fort Pete fan meeting here in NYC. So we're going to talk about the series, that fan meet itself. A lot of fan meets happening this year. And it should be a lot of fun. So we will see you guys in that episode. Bye.
All right, guys, that's it for this entry. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. On Twitter, you can find us at FG Diaries Pod. On Tumblr, TikTok, and Instagram, you'll find us at FG Diaries Podcast. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hope you all have a wonderful fangirly day.
ส่วนเช็คไว้ครับคิดไว้ว่ายังไม่ดึกเรายังไม่ง่วงครับเราไม่ง่วง